You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name's Ken, and I saw Neal open his mouth because he wasn't sure who was actually starting this episode.
Yeah, I thought maybe you wanted to, but I didn't want to. I wanted to signal you in some way.
Well, I give it a nice 2 seconds before I start, so I have a little editing bumper.
And for the listener, it's a little mystery because they don't know who's going to open the episode. It's not going to be Jeff or Matt today.
Well, usually it's always a mystery for the listener, but today it was a mystery for us as well.
That's true. It was.
But we knew it wouldn't be Jeff or Matt.
Right. Jeff decided he's trying to decide if he wants to be a Green Bay Packers fan or not. So he's traveling up to the Great White North.
That's right. And Matt is having a problem with his USB cord. Mm-hmm. So he's gone to the USB outlet. It's a shop full of all different USB cords.
Oh, next to the Circuit City.
Yeah, next to Spatula City.
Oh, Spatula City, yeah. Well, actually, it's funny. I don't know if you've seen this, but online people have been applying for jobs, and they put that they worked at Circuit City because they don't exist anymore, so no one can call and check references.
Nice.
Yeah. So they keep doing that.
Well, I really did used to work for Ritz Camera.
Oh, did you?
Also gone. But,
it's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the one over here, right?
Yeah, it was over here.
Or near here?
Yeah.
Okay, but I used to remember that store.
I developed a lot of stuff, Neal.
I remember you were saying that. You're like 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
But you know what should be developing here are some great new friendships because we have some wonderful guests
that sounds
here.
Great.
Yeah, I think so. I thought so too. We have some great returning guests and a surprise new guests. But we'll start with our newest guest. We're so excited to have her here. Coming to us from Charlotte, North Carolina, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon. Saya, how are you, Saya?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. So happy to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to?
Happy to be here. My name is Saya. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I really love trivia, and I love to do escape rooms.
Oh, nice. And what we love escape rooms as well. What's been your favorite theme that you've been in?
Probably a storybook Little Red Riding Hood theme.
Ooh. Oh, that's cool.
Little
but there's
like
also
fairy tale, little creepy.
Yeah, there's also some really good ones near you guys as well.
Oh, okay. You have to. That sounds really cool, though. Do you get eaten by the wolf or something? Is that if you don't get out in time?
No, but you do see a wolf hand, and you get to see a little bit of wolf transformation as well. This one's in Seattle.
And then you have to do a full, very graphic, cutting the stomach open to see the stones from Little Red Riding Hood. Right? That's from that story.
The stones?
Yeah, doesn't he have he eats
like the Rolling Stones?
Well, no, like actual stones because he doesn't eat.
Cut up with the stomach. He's like, stop me up.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. Yeah, that's right though, right? He eats all the stones because he thinks that he's eating the body or something. Because that's how he dies.
Maybe in the original.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the dark version. Anyway,
you might be right.
I'll look it up while we're playing. Yeah. I'll look it up. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, Saya.
I'm gonna put you in a Saw escape room.
Oh, I like that. Let's play a game.
I like that he cuts his limb off to get to the phone or whatever, but he could have just used the saw to nudge it towards him. That's fine, though. Whatever.
Well, kind of joining our escape room here today is our next guest. Just like a Saw movie, came in at the last moment and saved the day, thankfully. It's one of our great friends, one of the hosts of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, a rules guy impersonator on Patreon, our friend Matt Doherty. How are you, Matt?
Living the dream. That's what I say every time. I would say nightmares are dreams too, right? So.
Oh yeah, nightmares count as dreams, I would think. Cool. What have you been up to? And tell the folks who don't know about you about Benchwarmers, because we obviously love the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast.
Yeah, what have I been up to? Just got home from a cruise the other day. I was on. I realized my family and I have cruised 3 times. We did a 5-day. No, we did a 6-day, a 4-day, and a 8-day, this most recent one. We realized that 4 days is not enough. 6 days is probably perfect. 8 days is way too much. I
think you're officially a mariner now.
I know, right? But the bad news is that on day 6 or something like that, I decided to get, shocker, a little inebriated. What? No, not on a
Not
cruise.
on a cruise.
Come on.
Yeah, right?
And when I decided to take my contact out, instead of just my contact, I decided to take a little bit of my cornea too, and that was great.
Oh no.
So I spent the last 2 days looking like a real pirate, and that really sucked. So, but yeah, other than that,
Well,
Well, you're looking good now.
yeah, you
Aw.
look good. Thankfully, this
Thanks,
is an
Ken.
audio medium, so you don't have to read anything.
Yeah, exactly. No, I got my full sight back. I'm good. Took like a week and a half to heal. There was a doctor from Mayo Clinic on the ship with me, like was a part of our like group of people, and she's like, "Oh, it'll heal in like 2 or 3 days." A week and a half later.
That's lucky.
So
Wow. Well, we're glad you're feeling better. And yeah, as I said, everyone should check out the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Even if you don't necessarily like sports or are great at sports trivia, it's good to bone up and learn a lot. And it's
Definitely
funny.
get better.
Yeah, and there's so many great personalities. So.
I feel like about a third of the people listen to it just like as just to absorb a little bit of sports knowledge, right? So, because like when they think of '90s hockey, you got to think of Mario Lemieux kind of a deal, and it's like so yeah.
Great training ground. It's basically the Rocky training montage of podcasts.
There you go. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. And returning to the host chair, we had a great episode with him not too long ago called We'll Do It Live, which was a really fun episode. Coming to us from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Karl Krueger. How are you, Karl?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're so happy to have you back. We loved your game last time. We're excited for today's game, but remind folks what you're up to, and you have some really great announcements, which we're super happy for you.
Yeah, so the last time I was on, I had just gotten married. Since then, I've been married 2 more times, both to the same woman. She's actually from Peru. So the first time was a legal COVID wedding, and the last 2 were in person. One in Milwaukee, one in her home country of Peru. So we've since actually bought a house a little bit north of where we were last time, and we've adopted a dog named Bandit. He's a 80-pound boxer lab mix who's incredibly stubborn, and we love him to death.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations for everything. That sounds so fun and just wonderful too. And no one really gets to say they got married 3 times to the same person, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, with no divorces either. So that's probably the best part.
Exactly.
3-0.
3-0. That's right. Well, we're so excited to have you all here. Karl, we're going to throw it to the rules guy so everyone understands how to play the game. Any preference on who reads the rules?
Let's go with Gilbert.
All right. Gilbert, tell us how the game is played.
Triviality Podcast is 2 rounds of 20 questions worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there's a special swing round by this week's host. In the final round, players wager points they've earned for a chance to become the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
Thank you to Gilbert. All right, so well, we're ready to jump into the game, but we need our team. So I'm going to team up with Saya today. You mentioned that you work for a college, correct?
Yes.
And we discovered that college's mascot is the Minuteman. So we're going to be the girl with the Minuteman tattoo.
Nice.
Because I'm reading the Millennium series right now.
Right. And obviously the mascot was named after the ludicrous Missy Elliott song.
Correct.
And we're going to stay in theme with the Stieg Larsson. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to go with it. Stieg. We're going to stay in the Stieg.
Might just be Stieg.
The Stieg verse. And we're gonna be the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
All right.
It all ties together. We got Charlotte. We got sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit for everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Round 1, question 1. The category is starter question. In the Pokemon series, every Pokemon has an assigned number for their Pokedex entry. The original games had 151 entries, while there are currently 1,025 unique Pokemon in this encyclopedic catalog. For question 1, what is Pokemon number 1? I wonder if Tulip Ceratops was already taken.
Yeah, so both Matt and I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I heard the word tulip and it kind of reminded me of something, so we'll lock in with a guess. I don't know if it's right.
Okay. Saya, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I knew it was probably either Squirtle, Bulbasaur, or Charmander, because those are the starter Pokemon, and you have to choose.
Bulb with Tulip and
with the hint.
Saurus. Yeah.
Yeah, with the hint, I love Bulbasaur.
Agreed.
That makes a lot more sense. I just remember Squirtle. I thought Squirtle had the tulip bulb, but I guess that's Bulbasaur. So we said Squirtle, which is incorrect.
In Pokemon Red and Blue, you begin in Pallet Town choosing one of 3 Pokemon to be your starter. These options are number 7, Squirtle, number 4, Charmander, and number 1, Bulbasaur.
All right, off to a start. Just for the record, quickly, which of the 3, Saya?
Squirtle.
Carl?
Charmander.
Matt?
What? What?
Ash. Matt's
Sure.
an Ash.
Yeah.
Neil?
Orange is my favorite color, so I got to go Charmander.
I'm going with Squirtle.
All right. Round 1, question 2. The category is before and after versus before and after. This question is 2 wrestling-themed before and afters facing off against each other with 5 points available for each correct half. Your clue. The second city state sees his shadow, which means we will get 6 more weeks of this matchup against our champion, the devilish screenwriter of Juno, who is having her own American Nightmare.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, looks like it sounds like it's modern wrestling, and if it's the AWA from 1985, I'm your guy. But I don't really know a ton of this one, so.
I think I got them both, Matt. So I'm going to lock us in if that's okay.
Okay, so the second one is Diablo Cody something, right?
Yes, that's as far as I got. There's somebody named Cody Rhodes who's a wrestler, so it might be Diablo Cody Rhodes.
Okay, I like that one. And then I know that the first one is like a groundhog. Is there like
Phil?
a Punxsutawney Phil?
I can't come up with another one. Maybe CM Punk's name is Phil, and he's from Chicago, the second city. Maybe he's the second city saint.
Sure, I don't know much
CM
about
Punk
wrestling.
Phil versus Cody Rhodes, Diablo Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So we agree. We think Diablo Cody Rhodes for the first competitor, and the other one we're going to go with CM Punk's real name, so Punxsutawney Phil Brooks.
Yeah, so the answers I were looking for was CM Punxsutawney Phil versus Diablo Cody Rhodes.
Oh, does ours count as well, I guess, since we use his real name? Does it matter?
I'll give you full points for both of them.
Okay.
So we got points.
Yeah.
We saw it through, Saya. We did it.
Yeah, woo.
I wasn't feeling good about it, but
It worked it out.
worked out.
Okay. Round 1, question 3. The category is alternate 1990s pop song titles. Visible to the naked eye for 18 months, what comet has been dubbed the Great Comet of 1997? Don't hold your breath on seeing it again. It won't return until the 4300s.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the train one, I think here, Saya.
Okay.
Because
that's fine with me.
there's a train song with a comet reference, so
Okay.
we're locked in.
You're locked in. Okay, so Matt, what are you thinking? You said you might have an idea on this one.
Yeah. So the one I was thinking of was the Hail Bob comet.
Hail Bob.
Yeah, remember the Heaven's Gate cult that wanted to commit suicide and then be found on the back of the Hail Bob comet?
How do you Hail Bob? Okay, I'm just trying to think of a 90s pop song. I guess it kind of sounds like bop, like Hail Bob, bop. That's a 90s pop song.
Hail Bob.
Okay, I'm good with that if you want to go with that.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I could only assume that Carl was talking about the train song, so we're saying Haley's Comet.
The category is an allusion to the Hanson song "Mbop." The answer is Hail Bob.
Nice.
Just independently observed by Thomas Bopp and Alan Hale. Hail Bob is the answer.
Interesting.
So their song was really a thirst song about, what is the name? Something Bop?
The desire to see the comet.
The desire to see the comet, yeah.
Round 1, question 4. All eyes to the east. Let's lower our eyes from the sky and turn them east. When it was built in 1962, the Allen Bradley Clock Tower in Milwaukee was the largest four-sided clock in the world, holding that distinction until 2010. In what city will you find the largest four-sided clock in the world, constructed in 2010? I'm sure you can use it more than 5 times a day.
Matt and I discussed, and we have a good guess, we think.
All right. First question, do you think it's in the United States or outside the United States?
I'm not sure. I guess really there's nothing that really narrows it down other than obviously the using it more than 5 times a day. That's a clue of some sort, right?
Yes, but I can't claim to understand it.
Me neither. Is there a thing that we do 5 times a day?
Matt does, but he's not here to defend himself.
Oh,
Neil
man.
showers
Good
5
one.
times a
Good
day.
one.
You know, it's funny. I don't shower 5 times a day, but you know who showered almost 5 times a day? Frank Sinatra. He was kind of a clean freak about that, about his body.
Yeah. It was probably not good for his skin.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Also,
or the smoking or the Jack Daniels.
Constant cigarettes and
minor
and alcohol.
details.
Well, let's say, let's just take a swing, shall we, and say that they built the biggest clock in Shanghai.
Nice. This one is mostly Matt. He kind of figured out, I think, the clue structure, so I'm going to let Matt take it.
Yeah, so the 5 times a day, I think what Karl is hinting towards is prayer. And people that follow the Islam or Muslim religion pray 5 times a day. So then I thought, okay, well, what city would have a clock? And then Neil and I went back and forth. I mentioned Mecca. He said, how about Abu Dhabi? And then I think we settled on Dubai, considering that they were doing more building of late. So we checked in with Dubai.
Both of you were very close. You were correct there on the clue, referencing the 5 daily prayers that Muslims have to actually face. Mecca. The answer is Mecca, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that was my first guess. Yeah.
I know you had it, Matt.
But I thought Mecca, it would be one of those religious towns where they wouldn't allow for new building kind of stuff, because they've got that one big pyramid in the middle where they circle around it. But, oh well.
Yeah, I think it's like a government building that is just an enormous clock tower.
It was like a Russian era Soviet government building. Yeah.
All right. Round 1, question 5. This is the listener experience question. So while question 5 has traditionally been a listener submitted question, I happen to be a listener, so you're going to get a question about a recent experience I had. Last August, my wife Vani and I went on a delayed honeymoon to South Africa and then Tanzania, where we were fortunate enough to see all 5 of Africa's big 5 game animals. For 2 points each, name each animal.
Neil and I had a lot of debate, very aggressive debating, and we came up with 5 that we think are probably incorrect, but we'll check in, or lock in, excuse me. In my podcast, we check in, so yeah.
It all works.
You could check in with us, too. That's just
there
fine. All
Ken,
right.
Ken, how you doing these days? Everything okay? Just checking in with you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. So I was thinking it was lion, rhino, giraffe, hippo, and elephant. And Saya, you think maybe zebra is in there too?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't think of a rhino, but I do think a rhino is probably on there. So I think maybe your list is good.
Would you sub zebra for hippo maybe? Or do you like hippo better?
I don't know. I think our hippos, I think they're predominantly, right? They're predominantly in Africa, I would say, right?
Yeah, I would say.
I think hippo is better than zebra.
Okay. So we'll go with the lion, rhino, hippo, elephant, and kitten.
Oh, kitten. Yeah, so we have a similar list. I remember seeing this list before, or maybe learning it, and I know lion for sure, elephant, specifically Paul Giamatti's Rhino, Spider-Man film, leopard, and then I couldn't remember the last one, and Matt had a great guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost certainly wrong, but I said mosquito.
The big 5 African game animals are the lion, the rhinoceros, the elephant, the leopard, and the African buffalo.
Ooh, okay.
Wow. Buffalo, okay.
So we'll take 6 points on that one, bringing our total to 26, Neil.
Okay, and we'll take 8 points, bringing our total to 28. So 28-26. It's anybody's game.
That again, huh?
Moving on to round 1, question 6, where the category is Guts and Glory. Released in 1973 and winning both the Hugo and Nebula Awards, the novel Rendezvous with Blank is about a cylindrical alien starship that enters our solar system and the crew that intercepts and explores the vessel. Upon initial detection, the starship is believed to be an asteroid and is named after this 7th avatar of Vishnu. I hope you ate today and don't get confused for a tasty Japanese noodle dish. For 5 bonus points, also name the author. For full points, please name the complete title of this novel.
We can lock in because I was looking at the Hugo list earlier today.
Okay.
And I wish he had just stopped after Rendezvous with. That'd be great.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, Matt.
Please do. I do not mind at all. I know nothing about this. So
yeah, so when I was in high school, I loved the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, and then I read that, and I was going to read this book, but it seemed a little too daunting to me. But we said the author is Arthur C. Clarke. And then there was a kid in my high school who loved this book, and he had a very distinct type of talking. And he would always say, my favorite book is Rendezvous with Rama. And so that's what we said.
Is he a surfer?
He was Sean Penn from Fast Times. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say either that or Rendezvous with Rama and Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah, the answer I was looking for is Rendezvous with Rama, written by Arthur C. Clarke.
Man, I did not expect you to have a Slumdog situation on that one.
You didn't think I knew Rendezvous with Rama?
I did. Well, I did. Maybe you knew it, but you knew it very intimately.
Oh yeah. In
a Slumdog-esque way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I also know that the third book is called The Garden of Rama, because he used to say, "I'm going to go smoke some Garden of Rama."
All right, moving on to round 1, question 7. The category is neither fruit nor fowl. Often missing on maps, in 1893, what was the first self-governing territory or nation to grant all women the right to vote?
We are going to lock in over here.
Okay. So we were discussing maybe New Zealand. Yeah, we have fruit and fowl was the category. So I think they're called kiwis, right?
Yep.
So we're going to go with New Zealand.
You know, I didn't even hear the category, but now it makes a lot more sense. Yeah, we have a friend, Ryan Boyd is a listener, many other listeners from New Zealand that we appreciate, and we know that this is a great fact about their country, so we said New Zealand.
Yeah, kiwis are a fruit, kiwis are a bird, and kiwis are a nickname for the people of New Zealand.
It's my nickname for Neil also.
Kiwi, because
right, my little kiwi.
Little kiwi.
A little kiwi fruit.
That's not bad, I
You
guess.
like that?
That's not
Like
a
that?
terrible nickname, yeah.
I'm going to start it.
Maybe like my little mango.
I'll be mango, you can be kiwi, and we'll be detectives.
Mango, yeah, I like it. One is sweet and one's tart.
At minimum, you two could have a series of insurance commercials together. So that's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
At minimum.
Round 1, question 8. The category is who, what, where, and why. What is the name for the allegedly mythical creature found in Native American culture that is depicted as malevolent and the embodiment of greed, gluttony, and hunger? It is believed that a human can turn into one of these if they ever resort to cannibalism. They are primarily found in the upper Midwest United States and Canada.
Okay, so they're locked in, Matt. And
So you know this, though, and you're just going to give me some hints so that I can find it? Is that what you're trying to do?
I don't know if I know it. I know it, but I can't think of the name.
Is this the one? Shout out to our good friend Ryan Myers. He always talks about some sort of mythical character.
Do you remember the name of it?
Like it's like something like Skinny Man or something, but it's got a different. It has like a different. I can't remember, but
Slender Man.
Slender Man. There you go. That's what he's always talking about.
Yeah, not Slender.
Okay,
It's
never mind. Yeah, that's not
it
it.
sounds
That
like
was like an internet cryptid.
You think it's like a car, something like Pontiac or something, or
it sounds like a car or something. Like Winnebago.
Winnebago.
Wait, hold on. This was on an episode of Supernatural. I'm trying to pull it because I used to watch up until season 5 when I thought it was like the best.
Frightening Winnebago.
The old Winnebago.
Yeah, that's where Matt
it
is
sounds
in
like Winnebago, though.
Wisconsin.
Does that sound familiar?
No, I don't know this at all. Carl is like batting. I'm batting 0 here against Carl's questions. I don't think I've known one except Hail Bob, I think.
Wendigo or Wendigo. That's what it is.
There you go, Neil.
Yeah. It took me a second.
Saya?
Yeah, we didn't quite go the sounds like a car route, but yeah, we ended up going with Wendigo.
Yeah, so I listed 4 of the 5, W questions. The last one being when. The answer I was looking for was the Wendigo.
Yeah, I played a video game at Ryan's one time. We were all like switching off. It was one of those story games.
Oh yeah,
the one with Rami Malek.
Oh,
were
really?
you there for that one?
I don't know. Enough
Anyways,
for that one.
the monsters in that game were Wendigo.
They were.
Yeah.
Saya's just crushing
Spoiler
me here
alert.
about my car way of getting into the answer. And before we recorded, Saya said all the team names were too long. No, I'm in for one more crushing for the rule of 3s by the end of this game.
All right. Round 1, question 9. In Love and Other Drinks, So my wife hates the song Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba, but I love it. For 2 points each, what are the 4 drinks mentioned in the song? Bonus 2 points if you get all 4.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. This is a killer drum and bass album. I got it.
Oh, you're locked in. Okay. All right. So Matt, you can start listing them off, and I know them as well.
Yeah, whiskey drink, a lager drink, a cider drink, a whiskey drink, a vodka drink.
Is it vodka drink?
I don't know. I was asking you.
I think it
I
is.
know the whiskey, cider, and lager, the 3 that I know for sure.
And
I don't know what the other one is.
And a lager drink and a vodka drink. I don't know why I'm thinking vodka drink. It's got to be. Maybe because I don't know.
Songs that remind me of the good times. Songs that remind me of the
let's go with
better
that. Let's go. Yeah, whiskey, cider, lager, vodka.
Sure.
Think you got them. The order, though, is questionable because you should go beer before hard alcohol, right?
Yeah, beer before liquor.
But the way that Chumbawamba likes it is whiskey, vodka, lager, cider.
Yeah, and what would definitely give me a stomach ache if I drank all 4 in that order, they are a whiskey drink, a vodka drink, a lager drink, and a cider drink. All right. Round 1, question 10. Ringing the bell twice. Sometimes in film, there are characters that are so interesting, multiple actors have won an Oscar for portraying that character. Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger for the Joker, Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro for Vito Corleone, Rita Moreno and Ariana DeBose for Anita. Other times, an actor embodies a role so well, they are nominated more than once for playing a specific character in 2 separate films. This has happened 6 times, with only 2 actors actually winning an Oscar. Name either one of these actors, one for their colorful performance, while the other croons in his.
Matt and I teamed up on this one, held hands, and we think we got the right answer, so we're locked in.
All right, Saya, any ideas right off the bat?
No, I can't think of anything. One for colorful performance. Do you think that's the name of the character is like a color, or do you think the actor's name is a color?
Could be either, but probably more likely the character.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. I think I know who the color one is. I think it's Ian McKellen for Gandalf the Grey.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so Matt and I worked together. Unfortunately, the Academy loved Lord of the Rings, but not enough to give Ian McKellen an Oscar.
How dare they?
But they did give an Oscar to Paul Newman. He did The Hustler and The Color of Money. And then Bing Crosby, which thankfully for my Christmas book that I did, he was in The Bells of St. Mary's and Going My Way. He played a priest, so that's what we locked in with.
I would have never gotten that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil gave all the color I was going to. That the answers I was looking for was either Paul Newman or Bing Crosby.
After the first round, it looks like Team the Girl with the Minuteman tattoo is going to be holding 71 points going into the swing round, and the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets is going into the swing round with 83 points. Before we get to the swing round, Ken, I was out the other day, and I went to go to the coffee conglomerate to get a small iced chai, which is only 12 ounces. Guess how much that cost me?
$13.
Close, not $13, but it was $5.
Oh, $5.
And
sorry.
Yeah, so $5, which is a lot of money for 12 ounces of liquid. But speaking of $5, though, I could have used that one coffee and paid for all of our bonus content on Patreon.
That's like 60 hours or something of bonus content almost?
Yeah, for $5 a month. And I don't know what the math is, but what's 5 times 12?
I don't know,
but it's not a lot of money, but you're getting hours and hours of content plus 4 new episodes every month of Patreon content.
Okay.
So Matt and Jeff aren't here, but as we would say, if you don't want to learn anything and you don't want to care about woodworking, you got Jeff's game. If you don't want to learn about sports, but you're going to get it force fed to you, you got Matt's bonuses. If you want to have a nice potpourri of stuff, you got your bonuses.
Sure.
And if you want just nonsense from me that you probably will also forget, you have my bonuses. That's what we're here for.
Plus the crop drops.
Though. That's true. Then you hear all our darkest secrets. But yeah, if you'd like to join all of our own Patreon supporters that are joining us on today's episode, like Karl, Saya, and Matt, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And as we said, for as little as $1 a month, you get everything ad-free, the newest episodes. And for $5 a month, you get all the bonus content. Patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
And now, on to the swing round. Karl, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so this is going to be a sports/politics swing round. While some athletes go on to own a steakhouse or a car dealership after they retire, some go into politics. For 5 points each, I'm going to list some prominent teams or roles that this person was in and their political positions. I'm going to name 10 people that made that transition from sports to politics. All you have to do is tell me who it is. Number 1, University of Michigan football, 1932 to 1935. U.S. House of Representatives, 1949 to 1973, VP of the U.S. from 73 to 74, and President of the United States from 1974 to 1977. Number 2, WWE from 1995 to 2001, and Mayor of Knox County from 2018 to present. Number 3, Phoenix Suns from 1987 to 2000, and the Mayor of Sacramento from 2008 to 2016. Number 4, figure skating, winning Olympic medals in 1998 and 2002, and the U.S. Ambassador to Belize from 2022 to present. Number 5, head football coach at University of Nebraska from 1973 to 1997, and a U.S. representative from 2001 to 2007. Number 6, Mr. Olympia every year from 1970 to 1975, and again in 1980, and the Governor of California from 2003 to 2011. Number 7, head football coach at Auburn from 1999 to 2008, amongst others, and he is the senior U.S. Senator from Alabama since 2021. Number 8 is a professional wrestler in ring from 74 to 86, and then later on a commentator for WWF and WCW, and he was the governor of Minnesota from 1999 until 2003. Number 9, Pittsburgh Steelers and Detroit Lions between 1938 and 1941, and he was an associate justice of the U.S. Supreme Court from 1962 to 1993. And finally, number 10, professional boxer from 1995 until 2021, winning 12 major world titles. He was a House representative in the Philippines from 2010 to 2016, and a senator in the Philippines from 2016 to 2022.
All right, we have our questions. We'll be right back with our answers.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
All right, we have discussed these, and we are back, and hopefully we have a couple right answers.
Yeah, so I asked you to name some politicians or some athletes that eventually went into politics. For number 1, University of Michigan football from 1932 to 1935, and then U.S. Rep VP, eventually becoming President of the United States in 1974.
So we noticed some bizarre term lengths for the VP and the President portion. So Saya, who did we think?
We went with Ford.
Yeah, and born here in Omaha and then moving to Michigan when he was a baby. But evidently, everyone in Omaha says that Gerald Ford is from Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, Gerald Ford.
Yeah, the answer is Gerald Ford. I actually lived in Grand Rapids for a couple of years, and there's a Gerald R. Ford museum there that a girl took me on a date there once, and it was our last date. But so...
Would you like to go to the carnival? No. You want to go bowling? No. Dinner and a movie? No. I want to go to the Gerald Ford Museum.
All right. Number 2, WWE from 1995 until 2021, and he's the current mayor of Knox County since 2018.
Not sure his real name, but his ring name is Kane, I believe.
Yeah, we said Kane, and I think it's Glenn Jacobs. Wasn't too sure, but we locked in with Kane to be safe.
It is the Big Red Machine, Kane, a.k.a. Glenn Jacobs.
Nice.
And I wake up Neil with a Kane choke slam every day.
Someone chokes you, or you choke someone?
I wake up you with the choke slam.
Oh, you wake. Oh, yeah, right. With flames behind you.
Number 3, Phoenix Suns from 1987 to 2000, and the mayor of Sacramento from 2008 to 2016.
Well, boy, we just don't know. So we said Nash.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't famed Canadian Nash. I think I'm spacing on his first name, but it's not Avery Johnson, but it's something Johnson. So we're just gonna check him with Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson is correct. That is Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson.
One time we don't go with
Lucky
say.
Johnson.
Number 4, figure skating. She was an Olympic medalist in 1998 and 2002, and she is the current U.S. ambassador to Belize since 2022.
We went with the only figure skater that I could think of at that time, which was Oksana Bayul.
Oh, that's a good guess. I think this is correct. I remember seeing something about it, and I was like, that can't be right. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh, very cool. So we locked in with Michelle Kwan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the correct answer is Michelle Kwan.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
Number 5, head football coach at University of Nebraska from 1973 to 1997, and a U.S. representative from 2001 to 2007.
Well, we just don't know, so we went with the best darn football coach we know and said Rick Moranis.
He doesn't have the stadium named after him, but he has the field named after him in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's Tom Osborne.
Matt is correct. It is Tom Osborne. Number 6, Mr. Olympia every year from 1970 to 1975, again in 1980, and the governor of California from 2003 until 2011.
Well, we went with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep, we went with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the correct answer. Number 7, head football coach at Auburn from 1999 to 2008, and then the senior U.S. senator from Alabama from 2021 until present.
To be honest, I can't remember if this man is a senator or a rep, but we said Chuck Grassley.
Chuck Grassley is a senator from Iowa. Yeah, and like you were saying, when you're deliberating, Ken, he's been around for 1 trillion years.
Yeah.
This guy was just discussed on an episode of Benchwarmers the other day where we called him, and you might have to bleep this, Ken, so sorry. We called him known douchebag Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah, I didn't put any of my editorializing in the clues, but that is a very fitting clue. It is Tommy Tuberville.
And just for the record, I will never bleep that.
Okay,
I'll leave that in 100%.
He's the one that's
time.
been blocking all the promotions of military people because of the stupid abortion rules. He's a jackass. You can bleep that if you want. I don't care.
I'm not bleeping any of it. I'm leaving it in.
Yeah, screw him.
Number 8, professional wrestler in ring from 74 to 86, and then later a commentator for WWF and WCW, and then eventually the governor of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003.
Well, the only person we could think of was Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, we thought who else has the nickname The Body like Jeff, and we said Jesse Ventura.
Ventura.
It is Jesse the Body Ventura. Number 9, Pittsburgh Steelers and Detroit Lions between 1938 and 1941, and then an associate justice for the U.S. Supreme Court from 1962 until 1993.
Just trying to time that one out, so we think it might be Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, we talked about this one for a bit, and Matt said, "What about Thurgood Marshall?" So that's we locked in with the same.
Yeah. Thurgood Marshall was nominated a couple years later by Lyndon Johnson. This man was nominated by JFK. It is Byron White. Number 10, professional boxer from 1995 until 2021, winning 12 major world titles. And then he was a House representative from 2010 to 2016, eventually becoming a senator in the Philippines.
Well, not the only time I had a hard time spelling someone's last name on this round, but Manny Pacquiao is who we went with.
Yeah, and we were going through different boxers, and this one, aside from the ring, also doesn't have great opinions of people, but we said Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, fortunately, spelling doesn't count in an audio podcast. It is Manny Pacquiao.
All right, going 50% on that sports round. I'm not too upset, Saya. But it does put us into second place. The girl with the Minuteman tattoo with 96 points, and the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets with a leading 128.
Moving on to round 2, in question 1, the category is not the Yankee for the Yankees. So the national park system is truly an American treasure. For 5 points each, what are the oldest and newest national parks?
Okay, Saya, I think you have an idea on the newest, right?
I think so. Is that the name of it?
I'm not sure, but if you have an idea, let's go with it because I don't know. And I just had a random idea for the oldest, so if you're cool with that, let's just lock it in.
Okay, yeah, that works.
All right, Matt and I discussed this, and he brought up that Teddy Roosevelt started the national park system with Yellowstone, and that's the only one we can come up with. We don't know the newest one, so we're just going to lock that in.
All right, Saya, why don't you get us started because you have a good idea for the newest one.
I want to say that the newest one is New River Gorge, which I think is either in Virginia or West Virginia. It's where people have been base jumping off of. I think that's the newest one.
And it definitely fits the river clue. For the oldest, we're going to say Arcadia. I know there was some sort of superlative. Maybe it was easternmost or something like that, but maybe it's the oldest too. So we're going to say Arcadia.
Yeah. So the Yangtze is a major river in China, with the other being the Yellow River, trying to lead you, two different clues there at the same time. Established March 1st, 1872, with a law signed by President Grant. It is Yellowstone. And then on December 27th, 2020, New River Gorge in West Virginia became the newest national park.
All right. So each team taking 5 points for that one.
Together, we got them all.
Round 2, question 2. The category is a Saban Entertainment production. Drew, Joe, and Roland are the main characters in what 1990s live-action kids show where they battle comic villains using telekinesis, super strength, and super speed. The show adapted footage from the Japanese series Juko B-Fighter and B-Fighter Kabuto.
All right, we're gonna lock in. I think I know it, and if I'm wrong, at least it's a good answer. So we're gonna lock in.
Yeah, so I remember from my childhood there was like a knockoff Power Rangers. It was like Power Rangers, but second rate in all ways. And it was like, they were like virtual Rangers or cyber Rangers or something like that. So maybe Virtua Fighter is a game, but maybe virtual Rangers.
Yeah, that works. I can't remember. Honestly, I don't
You
remember
had mentioned
that.
to me Voltron, but I think these are live action.
Yeah, Voltron was only
like
animated, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's say virtual Rangers.
Okay.
That's good too. I'm pretty sure it was like around Power Rangers time, but I think it's Beetleborgs.
Yeah, running for 88 episodes between 1996 and 1998. This is Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs.
We'll give credit for Beetleborgs.
Is that okay? All right, if you guys want, I can take half credit.
Oh no, you take credit for that. No, I got to look it up.
Yeah,
Beetleborgs.
it had a pretty funny logo, I thought. Let me see what it looks like.
Oh, I see it. Oh yeah.
It has a great Jay Leno looking dude with a blue face.
Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, is that? Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him.
That's disturbing. I don't like that. I got to find what I was talking about.
I mean, this was a knockoff Power Rangers for sure. I mean, they use a lot of the same techniques and all that stuff. Round 2, question 3. The category is a potentially vexing question. Superior, Jefferson, Lincoln, Cascadia, and Absaroka are all proposed names for what entity?
And the show I was thinking of was VR Troopers, by the way. I just found it.
VR Troopers.
Blast from the past there. All right. As for this question, what do you think? Do you guys have any idea? Do you have any idea, Saya?
I have no ideas whatsoever.
Let's say that these are names of Carl's cat.
Okay, so they're going with Carl's cat. I think Carl has a dog though, named Bandit, but and then maybe you do have a cat.
He's in the adoption process.
Okay, so I have no idea. I know we were saying, Matt, that maybe it was something to do with flags. Like, is it a name of a flag for a country, or is it maybe the new names for the Great Lakes or something? I don't know.
I think isn't Cascadia like is that a mountain or a part of the Rockies mountain range somewhere in Montana or something?
I think you're right. It's something to do with the mountain. Maybe it's like a new mountain, a new American mountain.
Yeah. Absaroka, but
new.
I mean, so yeah, exactly. It just popped up. Come on down for the latest mountain. So those two make sense. The Cascadia and the Absaroka. Why you would name a mountain Superior, Jefferson, or Lincoln doesn't make sense, especially if it's a mountain that probably has an indigenous people's names anyway. Just like what am I thinking of?
Denali.
Used to be up in yeah. Say it again, Ken.
Denali.
There you go. Thank you. So I don't know.
You want to just say mountain, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, for what entity? So yeah, so
Maybe like
if he's going to
the
ask us
newest
to be more specific, then
new
maybe.
range of
But,
the mountain, the Rocky Mountains or something, maybe.
That new range that's been all over the news.
Yeah. I think so. I think Neil and I spoke in words and languages, and we decided to come up with something we think is very educated and say, hey, maybe the name of a brand new range of the Rocky Mountains, maybe, or something. I don't know. Yes, there you go.
And we just had no clue, so we're sticking with the cat thing.
Yeah. If I had included Puerto Rico or Washington, D.C. in that list, would that have made it easier?
Oh, new state.
Yeah, these are all proposed names for a 51st state. And yeah, you picked up on the flag clue, as obviously there's 50 stars on the U.S. flag. If we add a 51st state, what are we going to do there? Are we going to add it on or change the flag up entirely? All right. Round 2, question 4. Another Milwaukee question. I live in the greater Milwaukee area in a state known for its beer and dairy products. Despite these prominent industries, Milwaukee gets one of its nicknames from the colored bricks used for many of the buildings built in the 19th century. What colorful nickname does Milwaukee go by? Please note that this answer is not explicitly a reference to any lyric of any popular Bowling for Soup song.
All right. I threw a joke answer at Matt, but he said that that's actually the real name, so we're going to lock in.
All right. Well, I'm not going to try to come up with a Bowling for Soup lyric here. I'm guessing the bricks are red, Saya, and that's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, I would imagine they wouldn't go by the red state because I feel like that would be frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe just like the red brick town, red brick city.
Welcome to Red Brick City.
Next stop, Red Brick City.
That works.
All right. Well, it doesn't work, but it'll work for our purposes.
Red Brick City was a town on VR Troopers. That was where they're from.
That's
Red
right.
Brick City.
It all connects.
The last time I was in Milwaukee was for a Paramore concert, and I heard someone say a name referring to the city, and I thought it was a joke, but Matt said it's real. So we locked in with the Cream City.
Yeah, the nickname is always rising to the top. It is the Cream City.
Good to know.
Round 2, question 5, in Gunning for Glory. To date, what is the only team to complete an entire English Premier League season without recording a single loss?
Okay. So, Premier League teams, Man U, Arsenal.
Real Madrid, is that one?
Are they? Yeah, I think they're in there.
The first one I thought of was Manchester U, but that's
right,
probably because that's the only team I could think of.
Let's just go with the gut. I think they're good. Let's just go with the gut. Man U.
Yeah, this is 2004. I'm 99% sure that it's Chelsea, but I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Matt is correct on the year. The clue was Gunning for Glory. These are the Gunners from North London, the Invincibles. This was the Arsenal Football Club.
Oh, it was Arsenal.
Should have just slowed down a little, Saya, and considered the clue. That's my fault.
I always
forget to pay attention to the clues.
I know.
That our guests so generously leave us these clues, and we just blow right
like
past
Hansel and Gretel. We're not taking the crumbs. We're stepping over them.
Well, we had a brutal first half of the second round there, and we're at 101, just creeping our score up by 5 points.
And we only picked up 25 points there, but still extending our lead. We're at 153.
Round 2, question 6. The category is, what did the Australian chess master say to the waiter? Checkmate. Here is your chess question. What 2 chess pieces are needed to complete a castle move? You will find one in a castle, but the other is for the birds.
I think we can lock in on this one, Saya.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let Matt take this one because I don't know chess. I've tried to learn it. A 10-year-old's tried to teach me, and I couldn't learn it. So Matt, you can take it.
I'm fairly I know one of them is the rook. It has to be the rook. That's the castle.
Okay.
And I think the other one is the king.
Okay. Let's go with me.
So I'm going to go rook and king.
We agree. King and rook.
Yeah, whether it is a kingside or queenside castle, the 2 pieces involved are the king and the rook. Round 2, question 7. The category is, if you've got the time, we've got a question for you. Adopted in 1516 in Bavaria, What does the Rhine-Heizgebot regulate? Don't ask my wife for help, because just like in question 9, she won't hear it.
We can check in.
Awesome.
So I believe I've been to Bavaria. They're very serious about their beer there. Would you say it's a alcoholic beverage?
What would the what about the category if you've got the time? It wouldn't be anything about like standard time.
That I don't know. But it does reference back to question 9, which was the whiskey drink, vodka drink, lager drink, cider drink. So
Okay, yeah, then I'm fine with the alcoholic thing.
I think they're serious about their beers.
So, yeah, in 2040, you might want to try going to Munich for the Weihenstephaner's, was it 1000th anniversary? They are the original beer company from Munich, and in 1516 is when where their best beer is named the 1516. The Reinheitsgebot is the beer purity laws.
Wow.
Yeah, Matt is correct. This law regulated the only 3 ingredients you could then put into beer, being water, barley, and hops, and with yeast being added later. So the answer I was looking for there was beer.
Nice.
There are a limited amount of breweries that can have access to the pure Munich water that they have underneath the city. There are breweries around the outside that tap sideways to get to the water, and they call themselves Munich beers, but they're not allowed to call them. It's like they're a whole set of weird rules.
They're liars. They're runoff beers.
I know.
Yeah. Saya, have you ever had pure Munich water?
I can't say I have.
I guess I have.
Have you?
I've been to Munchen.
Were you slurping the water out of the
slurped it right out of the puddles.
You're like, I could make a beer with this.
They said, "So, what are you doing?"
That is pure Munich water, sir. Please do not sip the water.
Wait, no, Dutch boy went to Munich? Nice.
It's Dutch man.
That was Dutch man. If you'd like a good afternoon,
Please do not sip the puddles in Marienplatz.
I wanted to go into the sex shop with my girlfriend, but she said we want to go see the Gerald Ford Museum.
All right, I think we're done.
That's enough.
Round 2, question 8. The category is a very goofy question. At what theme park property did Nixon give his "I am not a crook" speech and John Lennon signed the papers to officially dissolve the Beatles? For 5 bonus points each, please name the specific location at this property. One is a modern take on hospitality, while the other would feel like home to a member of the Anawai family.
All right, we locked in. If you guys want to take a shout.
Okay. I think we're focused on Disney, either Disneyland or Disney World. Not too sure, but based on the time, I think Disney World would be either non-existent or very, very new, right?
Yeah, I think it would probably be Disneyland at that time frame, I think.
Okay. So let's go with Disneyland for our regular answer. We think maybe Tomorrowland for the first one, a modern take on hospitality. The other one, we're having trouble. It sounds either maybe Native American or Hawaiian name, but we can't really place that in the park, can we?
No, the only thing I can think of is there was a Frontierland, which if it's Native American, it could be like Wild West. And I think maybe that was a thing. So it could be Frontierland, but I can't remember any of the other names. I think there's like a Toon Land, but I don't think that's where it would be.
Okay, well, let's try Frontierland then.
Yeah, we agree that it was Disney, Disneyland. We put Epcot for the hospitality, but we think that's in Disney World only, so we probably won't get the points for that. But the Anawai family, that's a family of wrestlers, so that's The Rock, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Snuka, etc. And our guess was that The Rock was in the movie Jungle Cruise, which is in Magic Kingdom, so we said Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, you guys were all circling around the clues. So Walt Disney World opened in 1971. Nixon gave his speech in 1973, and John Lennon signed the Papers of the South of the Beatles in 1974. Both events occurred at Walt Disney World. That's what I was looking for. Nixon, so the clue there was a modern tech and hospitality. He did that at the Contemporary Resort, which is on the Disney World property. And then Lennon signed the papers at the Polynesian Resort. The Polynesian, obviously, that is Samoan, which is the lineage of the Anawai family.
So no points.
So
Absolutely
that's a big
crushed.
fat zero for everyone.
We came up with a lot of stuff, but none of it was right.
Round 2, question 9, 4-4 time. Coro Beniki originated as a 19th century folk song that tells the story of a peddler and a girl, but is more widely known as the theme song of this video game franchise, selling an estimated 520 million copies. If you've played this game for any amount of time, you may find yourself mentally trying to play it out in the real world.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and lock in on this one.
Yeah, we discussed video games just so we don't know a lot about them. We figured the clue was time. We thought maybe it could be Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I'm assuming that's the subtitle for that one. But we thought Zelda would sell more, and we know that Ken still plays his Ocarina. So we put Ocarina of Time.
That's right. But we disagree. The name of the song sounds Russian to me, and we picked a Russian game that you often have to play in the real world when, say, packing a car.
Oh.
And we said Tetris.
Yeah, the 4-4 time was a clue there. The 4 being the number of blocks within each game piece. With dozens of versions released on different platforms since the 1980s, the answer is Tetris.
Great poll. That's a really fun
one,
movie
yeah.
with Taron Egerton as well on Apple. If you have a chance to check it out, it's really good.
Round 2, question 10. More blocks. As I got close to finish this game, I got a bit of writer's block. Anyway, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, what company manufactures the most tires per year? If Triviality had a Danish boy, I bet he would know the answer.
We can check that one in, Neil.
All right, so you dropped the name Michelin to me, Saya, but I think this is a little tricky.
Yeah, and Michelin's French, so that wouldn't be right anyways.
Yeah. They're more worried about their stars than anything else.
Don't drop a fork.
Yeah, don't drop the fork, and if you do, better fix it. Make it right. But I think maybe this could be Lego because they have to put tires on all their little Lego cars, no? And we're talking about blocks. Yeah. Is Lego Danish? Probably.
It's Swedish, right? Because IKEA... No. Is it Danish?
Maybe. If they're
Maybe
close,
it is Danish.
They're neighbors. Yeah.
Take
You
a
might
seat,
be
have a
right.
Danish.
We'll say Lego.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we said Lego.
Yeah, in the number of units manufactured per year, it's the Danish company Lego.
After regulation, it looks like the scores are in. The girl with the Minuteman tattoo is going to go into the final round with 141 points. And the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets are going to go into the final round with 183 points.
Just for the record, Saya is not the girl with the Minuteman tattoo.
She's not.
Nor do I want to meet the girl with the Minuteman tattoo.
You make sure you have the right browser on your internet, because if not, she's coming for you.
Before we get into the final round really quick, we want to talk about Patreon, right?
Yeah, we have some wonderful patrons in the room with us, which we're excited to have. And I'm just going to put Saya on the spot because she raised her hand, even though she didn't, but I'm going to pretend she did. Have you been listening to the bonus content, and are you enjoying the new format of all the bonuses every week?
Yeah, I love listening to the crop drop, and I love listening to the really weirdly obscure specific theme quizzes, like the woodworking one. And they're really fun to listen to, and kind of
let's downplay the woodworking episode. Well, we're trying to sell people on the Patreon. Let's downplay the woodworking.
It's all woodworking every month. But no, thank you, Sai, for saying that. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in the new Patreon bonuses. We get to put a little bit of character in each one, which is great. And then obviously the crop drop is always fun because there's a peek behind the curtain, and we can be a little goofier, a little more triviality after dark, which we enjoy. But
you get the whole backlog. If you give us $5 a month, you get the whole backlog to enjoy. It's like 60 hours now.
Yeah,
of
and
content almost.
We're 24, I think, to 600, which is our goal for 2024. So
awesome.
We're close. So if you'd like to join, maybe whoever the 600th person is, we'll give you a prize. We'll have to see. But by the time this airs, I don't know.
And if you feel like you're being bothered right now by this Patreon ad, just $1 a month, ad free.
Yeah, you won't even hear this mess, basically.
And up from $5, you get a bunch of goodies like posters, gift boxes,
Minutemen tattoos.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make one. Maybe I'll make one of those and get one for everyone, like to put in boxes, like a Minuteman tattoo, but have it a Triviality themed one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So check us out on patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. All right, moving on to the final round. Carl, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so in a callback to round 1, question 5, your categories are elephant, which is a U.S. history question, lion, which is mythology, leopard, which is film, rhinoceros, which is music, and buffalo, which is language.
All right, all the wagers are now in. Looks like we're going 30s all the way down except for number 2, which is 20.
And we're doing all 30s except 2 and 5 are going to go 5 points only.
Okay. So it's still possible for us to take the W here. So let's see what happens.
In the category of elephant, in the United States, the elephant is a symbol of the Republican Party, while the donkey is the symbol of the Democrats. In what decade did these two symbols begin being used? I'm not sure what President Grant thought of them. Maybe he called the chancellor of the recently unified German Empire, Otto von Bismarck, on the newly invented telephone to discuss. In lion, Leo is one of the constellations of the zodiac and happens to be my sign. Despite this, one of my favorite constellations is the hunter Orion. How did Orion die? People born in late October and early November may know this answer. In leopard, jaguars and leopards are different animals. Both are popular, but only one is a popular car manufacturer, often showing up in film and television. A Jaguar XJ12 is used as transportation in this 2004 film, often referred to as the world's first rom-zom-com. In rhinoceros, the two types of rhinoceros are the black and white rhinos. Musically, what is the difference between the black and white piano keys? And in buffalo, 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 buffalo is a grammatically correct sentence, an example of lexical ambiguity where there can be multiple meanings of the same word. What is the definition of buffalo when used as a verb?
All right, we have our questions, and we will be back with our answers. And we are back. The girl with the Minuteman tattoo coming in with a deficit, but we'll see if we can triumph over the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets.
In the category of elephant, in the United States, what decade did the elephant and the donkey begin being used as the symbols for the Republican and Democratic parties?
All right, so sticking with the presidents for this one, you said President Grant. So we figure Lincoln is assassinated in the mid 1860s. You got Johnson in between and then Grant. So we're going to say the 1870s.
Yeah, Grant took office in 1869, and he lasted till 76. Yep, I think. And so, yeah, so we also said the 1870s.
Yeah. In round 2, question 1, I gave a year in the answer, which Grant signed a law, actually. So the answer is the 1870s. In lion, which is the mythology question, how did Orion die?
My birthday is November 19th, so I'm a Scorpio, and so we said scorpion.
We just kind of guessed. We weren't quite sure, so we said an arrow.
Yeah. Saya, you picked up on the clue there. Orion was stung to death by a scorpion. In leopard, which is the film question, a Jaguar XJ12 is used as transportation in the 2004 film, often referred to as the world's first rom-zom-com.
Yeah, we think Phil is very serious about his Jaguar and doesn't like anybody else driving it. And Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, celebrating an anniversary right now. The character played by Bill Nighy. So we said Shaun of the Dead.
It's one of my favorite movies, Shaun of the Dead.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Go over to Mom's house, kill Phil. Sorry, Phil.
Wait for all this to blow over. In rhinoceros, the two types of rhinoceros are the black and white rhinos. Musically, what is the difference between the black and white piano keys?
We weren't quite sure how to word this, but I think we're going to go with a whole step in between the white keys versus half step for the black keys.
Yeah, we weren't sure how specific you wanted to be. We said that the black keys are the sharps and the flats, and the white keys are regular or whole notes.
Exactly what I was looking for. The black keys are the sharps and the flats, or the half notes, where the whites are the natural. And then the category of buffalo, which is the language question. What is the definition of buffalo when used as a verb?
We're going to say to bully or pester.
We're saying that it's like to puzzle or to confuse kind of video, like as in like we were buffaloed by this question.
Yeah. The definition I have is to bewilder, bamboozle, confuse, harass, intimidate, or bully. So both teams getting points there.
Okay, the game is now over, and an exciting finish for everyone in the stands listening at home. The team of the girl who kicked the Charlotte Hornets, picking up 90 in the final round, bringing our total to 273. But
good score.
Very good score. But betting even harder in the paint, going all in pretty much in the end.
And this never happens.
This never happens.
On
right.
my team.
But the girl with the Minuteman tattoo gave a computer virus that just completely wiped us out. And you're going to end the game with 281 points, being today's cream of the crop.
Remaster crap.
I'm gonna give credit to Saya here on the final round triumph, because I'm a final round curse. That's well established. But today we triumphed.
You did triumph, and I will admit, I don't know how to do math that well. I can do the score, but I was like,
you better check that 2-3 times.
I was gonna say if we bet 5 on these 2 questions, I think we'll be okay with our lead, but we were not. So, or as the narrator said, they were not. But yeah, thank you very much. First of all, Matt, you were an awesome partner. You came in at the last minute, saved the day. You were a great reliever here. Our closer didn't work, but you kept everyone at bay for at least 5 to 6 innings. So thank you. But any shout outs or anywhere people can find you and the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, if you want to listen to sports trivia, we've kind of said that pretty exhaustively. I will say, though, we always like to do a little advocacy, and I think you guys heard a little tone in my voice earlier about certain people that think politically stupid. So it's election year, and I know we're going to get a lot of this, but register now, people. Do it. Just register and vote. I know everyone's like, oh, I hate voting, but it'll all be over soon, I promise you. Just like, when the doctor gave us the shot when we were a kid. Just go ahead and do it.
Good advice.
Well said. Yeah. Thank you, Saya, for being a great guest, for only crushing me twice, not 3 times. I appreciate that.
The final crushing was the score.
I guess that's true. She did crush me 3 times. You're right. Okay. I'll take that to my grave. But anyone you'd like to shout out or say hello to before we let you go?
I'd just like to shout out my boyfriend, Andrew, who's like my trivia partner and my partner in crime.
Awesome. Well, hello,
Not
Andrew.
actual crime.
Right.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Well, maybe we have no idea. We have to find the girl with the Minuteman
we
tattoo.
just met her, so
that's true. And Karl, wonderful game, just like last time. Thank you so much for joining us and putting us together. Great clues, great questions, categories, all that good stuff. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out to my wife, Vanya. She's been taking care of our dog, Bandit, during this recording. He's tried to poke his head in the door a couple times, but she's kept him entertained. And then the playtesters. I sent this in the Discord channel to the playtesting group. So Louis, JS Caboose, and Johnson E. all provided some great feedback for this game. And thank you to them.
We love our playtesters. Thank you so much for all your support. And you know what we also love, Ken? Airwave Media.
That's right. Airwave Media is our network, and you can find them at airwavemedia.com and check out other awesome podcasts such as Investing for Beginners, Queen's Podcast, and When Things Go Wrong.
Well, one thing that didn't go wrong was today's episode with our great guests. So thank you very much to Saya, Karl, and Matt, and for Jeff and Matt, who weren't here today, and for myself and Ken in the studio. That was Triviality.